Welcome to Sayless Projects. We believe in the power of shared stories to inspire action and possibility and to bring hope to people who need it most. Through storytelling and purposeful action, we promote mental health awareness and support efforts to prevent suicide. You'll hear from a wide range of guests, runners, creators, leaders, and everyday people, sharing what they have lived, what they have learned, and what helped them keep going. The truth is, none of this is meant to be carried alone. If you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or tired, you are not alone. This is the art of doing something about it. Welcome to the Art of Doing Something About It. Right now we are interviewing people who are running the Speed Project with Sayless Projects, and I am excited to have my friend Sarah Woynicz here with me. Sarah, welcome to the studio.
Thanks.
It's good to have you.
Yeah.
So we'll get right into it. Why did you say less when I invited you to run through the desert?
Yeah, so I actually loved thinking back to this because I remember the night. And to be honest, like had it been any other night, like I maybe wouldn't have responded to you as quickly. But I was going through it. I was sitting in my driveway that night and had like just been crying, honestly, which is strange to say out loud, but I was, and I got a text from you. My phone lit up and you said essentially, "Hey, we're doing this thing. Do you want to run the Speed Project?" And I just remember in that moment, it was kind of like the world melted away for a little bit, and it was like the right text from the right person at the right time. And I knew like in that moment, it was a yes for me. And I knew it would become other things, but that you had just texted me at a time where you had no idea about it, had no clue. And running's always been something that's been really important to me. It's not something that I thought I would be able to do at various points. And so I've always been grateful for it. And I knew that if I ran a race, really ran a race, I wanted it to mean something. And that was years ago. I kind of made that commitment to myself. So when you texted me and said, "Hey, this whole Say Less thing, we're running Speed Project, do you want to be a part of it?" I think it was just the right thing that came at the right time. And it was an immediate yes for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, you said less for sure.
Yeah.
You grew up running, right? Like
I
kind
did.
of you kind of have a background. So kind of walk us through what your kind of how you got into running and where you're at even now with running.
Yeah. So my mom was a big runner. Like she was busting out 50, 60 miles a week when I was a kid. Like huge runner.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah, shout out to mom. So I always kind of knew it. That was my first, I mean, I played basketball and stuff as a little kid, but it was always active. And so first team I could really try out for was middle school track team. And, since middle school, I was a 100 runner, 200 runner, 400 runner, did all of the jumps, long jump, triple jump, high jump in high school. I ran for Virginia Tech for a semester. So there was always kind of a thing in my life was just running as a core sport, relays and the team aspect of it too. After running for Tech, I kind of had to make a decision between academics or sports and chose academics because that was what I knew would sustain me. But also after taking about a semester or two break, got into playing rugby. I tore both my ACLs over kind of the 8 years that I've been playing rugby. And so I never actually thought that I would run pain-free again. I literally like relearned how to walk, which was cool. And there's really cool technology out there. But 2 years ago, I told myself I never wanted to run more than 6 miles because it just hurt. I was just in pain. It wasn't worth it. But then I think kind of have an amazing coach, and even when I moved to Dallas, I knew I was looking for a community, and it came in part, in one way through running. And I think I've just seen the evolution of it from the kid that just loved going out on the track to now the, adult that found her people and found her community in a brand new city through a run crew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So because of your journey and what you've been through with your health and wellness and running, who would you say you are outside of running? Because I feel like, especially for people who have been in it for a long time and it's been an important part of your life, and then when it gets taken from you, those are those moments when you really find out, more about yourself. So who would you say you are outside of running?
Yeah.
Being a runner.
Yeah. I mean, I like to say I wear a lot of hats, and some of them, like, I'm in a phase of my life where I'm kind of discovering new things and also remembering old things. I mean, like one thing that comes to mind of just like, all right, well, Sarah, what do you do outside of running? Like I'm an architect. I'm an improviser and a comedian, which is strange to say because I'm also introverted. I'm a sister. I'm an aunt. I'm a person that loves my family and friends and my community and my people. Um, so yeah, I think, running is one part of me. Is I'll always be somebody that I hope is able to move and really embody both physical and mental wellness. I'm a person that just like loves life and getting to experience it, not just with myself, but with all the people around me in
Yeah,
so many different ways.
I love that.
Yeah.
One of the big things for us with Say Less is mental health,
Hmm.
suicide prevention. How has running and mental health kind of collided for you, and how like, has running helped your mental
Hmm.
health and vice versa?
Yeah. So I will share this and I will kind of like put a disclaimer on it for anybody that has dealt with eating disorders. So running and mental health used to not be great for me. When I was a teenager, I had an eating disorder, and I was at the time I was at my fastest because there's science behind that to a degree, but I also just like it was my escape and my outlet, but not in a healthy way. Um, I came out as a queer person when I was 16 years old, and I kind of like my world collided. Like I lost friends. I had some really difficult, hard conversations that I hope people never have to have. But yeah, like my community kind of evaporated overnight, and not by my choice. And so I turned to running, and I turned to music, and I turned to academics, and I was like, well, I'm gonna pour into myself, but it became really unhealthy. I think now I look at myself half a lifetime later, and I'm like, it's now a bedrock. And I know that when I have hard days, to move is actually a place of wellness and a place of breathing and fresh air and grounding. But it's been really hard, and sometimes things come knocking, and it's hard to not forget even half a lifetime ago, like something that you dealt with. But I think to be able to like recognize it now as a person, and I mean, really know that to fuel and take care of myself and my body is like just as important as any movement is ever going to be. They've become super integrated and just a part of waking up every day.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you for opening up about that. Um, when it comes to like walking through stuff like that, like I've never been in your
Hmm.
position, and I think we can think we know, and we can read, and we can listen,
Yeah.
but you actually have lived experience. I would love to hear like for you, because I
Hmm.
know there's other people who have gone through that and are maybe even going through that right now, whether it's an
Hmm.
eating disorder or speaking up about something and then losing friends and community. What are some things
Hmm.
that you can recall, and obviously, when this is not professional advice or anything,
Yeah.
but what are
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
things that you did practically for yourself that you feel like benefited your mental health and allowed you to now here you are later,
Hmm.
and you have a career, you have friends, you're in community, like you're an
Hmm.
example of like if you keep going, you can get to
Yeah.
the other side. Any advice, any tips that
Yeah.
you went through?
Yeah, man, I was a really stubborn teenager, and I'm still a really stubborn adult. But I think one thing I've learned is like it's okay to ask for help, and sometimes it's okay to receive help even when you don't know you need it. I remember like my mom. I mean, she was my coach at the time, and I remember like sometimes her just being like, I don't know what to do, but I know that like there's something that like you need. And I was stubborn, but I was also angry, and so it was hard for me to receive that. But I think I look at where I am now, and I'm like there were people that showed up even when I couldn't see my own self, who were there. Um, and I think to know that for me as the person in the place I am now, that it's okay to receive that help. It doesn't diminish anything. Actually, like it just kind of keeps making me stronger. I think that's one thing that I've really learned, and where I am in life now, feel so thankful to lean on. The other thing of like kind of speaking up and maybe not knowing what's going to come on the other side is um, I think sometimes like it's really hard, whether it's values, whether it's a part of your identity, because yeah, there's moments where you can stand something to lose. But I've also looked on the flip side of that, and I've been so thankful for everything that I've been able to gain, even after losing it, and just the community that I never thought I would find in architecture, you know, across the country, across the world, even in my own backyard. And I think it was because I knew there was a point where I had to remain authentic to me. And I couldn't sacrifice myself anymore. And that's really hard. I'm like, how the heck did I do that at 16? But what's cool is that I look half a lifetime later and I'm like, I'm still doing that now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So for Speed Project, what's one word that comes to mind when you think about Speed Project?
Oh man. I don't know, fun,
Yeah.
outlandish, a little bit unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited though.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
What are you looking
Mm.
forward to? Like, what's one thing that you're like really excited about experiencing out there?
Yeah, I think just doing something as a part of a team again. It's gonna be really cool to, and already like knowing, like, you know, haven't met people, but knowing that there's like this foundation of trust that I'm coming into this. Like, I'm really excited to be like running halfway across the desert and like just getting to experience that and share that with other people.
Yeah, absolutely. What about on the
Yeah.
flip side? What are you nervous about?
Man, I am like, two ACL surgeries makes me a little nervous, but I'm also super grateful for the coach that I've had and the training I've been doing. But a little bit of me is nervous of just like, oh, it's going to be intense and your body is going to ask a lot of itself. So just being
Yeah.
real about that.
Well, it's been cool.
Yeah.
I actually saw I saw you running. We see each other running like all the time because we're
Yeah.
in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
But we were driving, me and Haley, earlier today, and I saw you off in the distance. I was like, "There goes Sarah." So I'll have
She's in
that
the
same
hood.
thing when we're in
Yeah.
the desert. I'm like, "There goes
Yeah.
Sarah."
Yeah.
We know it's
Yeah.
going to be challenging. We know we're going to have that moment where it's
Mhm.
like, "Oh man, I don't know if I can keep going."
Yeah.
What do you plan to anchor yourself to? What's something that a
Mm.
mantra or something that you're gonna tap into in that moment when it happens?
Mm. Yeah. I think there've actually been a couple for me this year alone. And one of them is that you can do hard things. I laugh with a couple of my friends and they're like, yeah, you do make life hard on yourself sometimes, Sarah. And I'm like, I've got a lot of practice. Like, Kimberly Knipe, if you're watching this, I've got a lot of reps at doing hard things. And I think that's just kind of that reminder of like, you can do hard things. But also I think looking up, that's a huge thing for me, is when you look up and you see the world around you, and whether it's just you standing there yourself, whether it's you with your four other teammates that are running through the desert, or the whole community that's cheering you on back in each of their backyards. You know, remembering, hey, Sarah, you can do hard things, but also look up because you're not doing them alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That makes me think there's something I've been really thinking about lately, and it's like, yes, we can do hard things.
Mhm.
And there's this idea we've kind of all been around it these last few years of like doing the work.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I've noticed, in my opinion, is like we can easily get stuck in that mode though, where it's like
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
things and doing the work. But one thing I've been telling myself lately is like there's got to be a result from the work.
Mhm.
Like don't just stay in the work. Like
Yes. Yeah.
it's okay to be okay. It's okay
Mhm.
to do hard things, but not just to do hard things, but to
Mhm.
get the result so
Yeah.
that now you can live in a good place and be
Yeah.
in a better
Yeah.
season of life. Like you're an example of that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you went through some hard things and you
Mhm.
did some hard things, but
Mhm.
the fruit of it is what we're going after.
Yeah.
Like we want to see some results. And so
Yeah.
thank you for sharing. Anything that you'd want to close with, or anything that you're hoping that someone gets out of watching you go out there and do this challenge, and you're
Yeah.
at the Vegas sign and you're celebrating, but
Yeah.
people, you never know who's watching. And so
Mhm.
maybe what would you hope someone gets out of this that's watching you take this on?
Yeah. I mean, I think what's cool about a lot of stuff like this is that it can be very individual and very personal, but then there's also, like you just said, pieces that connect all of us. And I think for somebody, like, just what resonates for you and what's your story. And um, I don't know. 6 months ago, I never thought that I would be doing something like this, and I've had a couple of instances in life where I feel really grateful, where I look back and I'm like, whoa, I never realized that was even possible. And I think that's kind of one of those moments where it's like you said, like, kind of regardless of where you're in life, kind of you can be working towards something, but then when you kind of get there or get to a milestone, you get to stop for a minute and be like, wow, that was really awesome, and something that somebody maybe didn't think they would ever do or ever could do, like they've now done it. And I think for anybody who's watching, that's like, oh, that's crazy. You just ran across the desert. Like, whether it's running across the desert or whether it's chasing something you never, getting up on a stage or chasing an idea or a dream or trying something new, is that whatever that might be for you, you might not see it right now in this moment in time, but just because you can't see it right now doesn't mean you won't 6 months down the road, a year down the road, look back and be like, wow, I can't believe that's where I come.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being someone who's saying less. Thank you for being brave and taking a stand for many things. And you've been, man, just a light and a really cool person to get to know. And I'm really grateful that you're part of like our community here in Dallas and our running community. And so if you want to see Sarah finish with all of us at the Speed Project, stay connected, stay subscribed, stay tuned to us on Sayless Projects on Instagram, and most importantly, keep going.